my eye off the clock and let me see. I have presenting rights, right? So I will introduce myself quickly, just so you know who I am. My name's Beth Palmer, and I work for L2 for about 2 years right now. I came originally from Fraser, the interiors plant there in Michigan. So that being said, we have a new process for cycle checking that you guys are interested in, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Cycle checking with the iPad. So I wanted to share my screen. Can you see my screen?
One
second. One second. It went black for a minute. It's taking a second.
So Beth, where are you located now? Are you still in Fraser?
No, I'm in Auburn Hills. I sit with the L2 group, which GIS school is located here off of High Meadow Drive. So I used to be on the FCS implementation team for Fraser when we implemented SAP for Masonic and Lansing and so forth. So I was also there when I think we did Teal also at Franklin plant. So maybe somebody remembers or
So
met me at that
anything she
point?
does on her computer is what we're
For me, Charlie, for me personally, I've only been here about a month, so I'm brand new.
Oh, you're ready for fun then, huh?
Yeah.
Well, welcome, I guess.
Yeah, this is Matthew Bailey. I'm also brand new.
Oh my goodness. Well, we're gonna have a treat then because this process is new to all of us. Mm-hmm. So we're trying to implement it with the support of we'll call ourselves the GIS or the L2 support, so that you guys have somebody physically there to work through the issues when we encounter them, when we go live with it. Okay. But I wanted to touch base because there's a few things that I was concerned about, and I don't have probably a complete list, but I started one just to get the intro and bring people on board, and they did want me to try to target the 21st. Let me look at the calendar. The 22nd, I think, is that excuse me, I'm looking at 2018. That's a little bit old. I think the 21st is a Monday, if I'm not correct. Okay, so so let's talk about that date for one thing. Does that date, and you can see my screen now, does that date work for the key players? There's nobody out of town that's not a customer coming in at that particular week, or some auditor or some crazy thing that will, or somebody scheduled for vacation?
Franklin can adjust.
Okay. I mean, by all means, I'm flexible too, so we don't have to, if something's happening, just let me know. I can speak at the next meeting or whatever. So,
Franklin's current condition is that our cycle counter, who was experienced, we do have a cycle counter, but our inventory handler is covered. He's are now a third shift personnel supervisor, so he's kind of moving out of that position, but the person who does the normal counting is here, and we're still, very supportive. It's just a little thin on manpower.
okay, so if I could get, let's start that at the beginning, because this new, I guess the cycle checking process. We'll just talk about verbally the process. Right? Let's not worry about any transactions or anything like that. This new process is going to require you to create an SAP, the physical inventory documents. That's not that different than before, but I did want to clarify if you guys were using, and I made a couple comments here. If you guys were using the leveling information system, where you basically what it does is says, okay, the last time I counted this, it was, September 31st. This is a B. That's the function of the transaction in SAP. It's a B1, so I'm scheduled to recount it in April. The system decides based on the criteria when the next appropriate time to count it is. So, are you guys using the leveling process, or are we going like the whole step ahead of that, and I don't even have a person that's managing that function right now?
Yeah, I think Frank is using the leveling.
So the gentleman or the girl, is it
Cynthia?
person? Yeah, who is the one though that
The person.
I guess you said was
Yeah.
the person that did it before?
Casey. He's the one that can really give you that information. Only thing The only thing I do is count the parts.
Yeah, so this is what I'm concerned about. I gotta, and this is why I have these phone calls. We have to make sure that we as a team and a group know what is the process we're following and who's going to be responsible for what. And when I arrive at the plant, what are your expectations from me? Because right now, what I expect and what my boss expects is for me to go there. You have a local IT person that set up this iPad. We are going to go through the process of cycling with the iPad or /scanners, and then the inventory analyst still will be able to go into the system, evaluate, the variances, issue recounts, and that type of thing. So I need to make sure if any of those steps are missing, or if you guys are not comfortable at all right now with the level of training that the new cycle person, the inventory analyst, has. Do we have an inventory analyst?
No, the job's been posted, but we do not have that person.
So who's going to make the reason I say that, and the reason I want to complete the circle, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to force the system and say, okay, fine, we have a PI document, it's on the iPad. I don't have to tell her she has 10 fingers on her hands. She knows, she's smart. But I want to make sure that we go to the floor and we process it or we scan it, and then there's a person to receive that information in SAP. And then we visit scenarios like, okay, it's not right. The threshold of tolerance is not right. The scanner, the packaging instructions don't work, that kind of thing.
That makes sense.
So, yeah, I want to make sure. If I look at this list real quick, I'm nervous that I don't have an inventory analyst, because before you start, you want to make sure all the material. Can you guys see my screen? I hope I'm sharing properly.
Yep.
Yes.
There's a couple prerequisites that I was a little concerned about. If you verified going into 2019 that the material masters are correct for the SFINs and the comps, including if you're going to scan, you're going to make sure that there's packaging instructions that the pallets have scannable labels on. That doesn't have to be done. But if the cycle checker wants to use the option even to say I found 5 pallets, as we know, we have packaging instructions in the system, right? Those 5 pallets have to equate to what is reflected in SAP. Or if she puts 5 pallets and the packaging instructions say that equates to 5 pieces or 5 million pieces, it's going to really throw off your variances, right? So there's a couple prerequisites that I don't know if we need to have Casey involved.
Right. We definitely. Yes.
I mean, I hate to say that. To get this initially kicked off, we have to make sure that, the ABCs are in the system, right? I'll say this because let me explain it to you too, and tell me if I'm giving you too much information and when to stop or ask questions. Because in Forcia's SAP system, we classify the parts as ABCs, right? A being either a high dollar or a high volume or a high risk kind of part.
Okay.
Something you would count every single solitary month, right?
Yes.
B, being, of course, every 6 months, and C, once a year type of thing. So, that being said, the system can automatically assign those, which is what some plans do, and some people like to just do it that way and then kind of, edit it or audit them, change a few that they know are high concerns or whatever. I need to make sure somebody's going to do that prior to me being there.
So Charlie,
Because
I'm sorry, Charlie, did you want to postpone?
You're going to have to speak up. I can barely hear
Okay.
you.
Did you want to postpone until we have someone, or making sure that Casey can be here? If Casey can't be here, we can postpone it until a little later. Do you have the right person involved?
Yeah. If you're looking for someone to drive this, I would much rather have the analyst here, skilled up and ready to go.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm concerned about that a little bit. Yeah, because it'd be nice to address it as a process, right, and not just her function on the floor. If she can press buttons all day and do the proper steps, but what is it doing? What's the bottom line? What the setups? We can do it without an analyst.
I'd rather not. I'd rather not. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I prefer that.
Yeah.
No, you're perfectly fine. That's why I kind of was looking at these type of things and thinking I better let you know.
Thank you.
That especially being that you're new, like in a nutshell, what Forcia wants to see you do is assign your ABC classifications, right? It's going to tell the priorities, A's being the ones you count every month. Then you tell the system, okay, for 6 month period, assign me my count dates. And the system knows that. The system looks back at history and says, you're a B part, I counted you last month, I got 6 more months, and it assigns a date to it. In theory, those dates and then you come in maybe on a weekly basis, you create your physical inventory documents, right?
Yes.
Say next week, Cynthia's going to count on the floor, January 7th through the 10th. Those would be reflected then in the iPad. So when she goes to the floor with that iPad, she can enter 6 pallets, 4 boxes, and 3 loose pieces, or 10 loose pieces in an open box. Well, that's all she needs to know. She doesn't need to enter box quantities. She shouldn't have to enter how much is on a pallet. All of that needs to be done in the packaging instructions.
Okay.
So now if you have Lisa in place, which I know you do because you have TO, so most of your Lisa and packaging instructions are already in there and should be fairly accurate. So I feel good about that. But that being said, there's somebody that the inventory analyst also makes a setting in MII that says, this is my tolerance and my variance for an acceptable count. Because when she goes out to the floor, she doesn't know if she's supposed to find 100 or 10 million. We don't tell it. It's a blind count, right? So there's tolerance factors put in that if it's a box of clips and I know I'm going to have a 5% loss always, to me and you that's probably $20 and that's fine. I don't care. I'm not going to question that. The system's going to automatically accept that, and it's automatically going to send that count to SAP. You know what I'm saying? Like there'll be little steps like that. So we need somebody that's going to be the owner of that, that's going to establish those variances and is going to make sure the materials. I can pull files on that stuff and see what we're missing, but I need someone who's going to be the owner of these counts.
Okay.
Yeah, I think probably best to postpone and get this person in place, skilled up, then start driving this change. To be honest with you, I'm newer and I'm not there yet, so I need to get my arms around it a little bit more too. So.
Okay, that's fine. I'm glad we had this talk then, because I don't want to come in there and waste anybody's time, and I want to make sure.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you, Beth.
Yeah, no, it's not a problem. I'm going to send you, maybe I can send you, not that you have any spare time, because that's funny to say to any plant, but I have a work instruction that says how to manage the ABCs with the leveling if you wanted to maybe have that conversation with Casey to see if these things were already set up for 2019.
Can
Yeah, please. Forward it to me.
Okay.
Can you send me a copy too, Beth, please?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
thank
I will
you.
send it to the whole mail distribution
Oh,
list.
okay.
And I apologize because there was a Cynthia Ruth and a second Cynthia, so I thought you were one and the same person.
Okay.
So I got everybody on the distribution list. Yeah, you know what? I'll send you like this kind of prerequisites that I was mentioning, this list, and then the 2 work instructions, and maybe we can also tag Casey into the email chain and I'll get some feedback as to what the status is for 2019. And we really, gosh, cross your fingers you get somebody, because we don't want to get too far into 2019 and
Yeah.
you know, not get all the A's counted, not get all the correct assignments in there.
Okay.
Um,
So what's the earliest you think for the next time that, what is a deadline? What's a good deadline to get this done?
Hold on. We need to get someone hired first.
Okay.
We
Yeah.
don't know how long that's going to take.
Okay.
yeah, that's a big issue.
Okay, that's what I was asking. To get someone in here, how long is that going to take? Because she was saying how this is all about timing. Even if we get someone hired in, how long is that going to take?
It's already in HR's hands and it's already posted. We have to go through the interview process. We have to, fill that with the appropriate candidate. So
Okay.
I cannot give you it's going to be next Tuesday type thing.
Okay.
I just can't do that.
Okay.
Right.
I think the best thing is we got someone hired. We alert everyone that someone's hired, then we go through the training process, and then when we feel like just give a little bit of constant updates each day or each week, whatever, and then say, okay, now we're ready. Let's reconvene and get started. But with the spirit of let's try to do it as quickly as possible.
Okay.
So, one quick question: How are you going to function today and tomorrow, as far as counting? I mean, is there some Excel sheet that somebody's trying to follow, just to make sure your parts are being followed up with, or is Casey posting these? Is anyone posting any cycle gains or losses?
I have no idea.
We are counting. There are, I think Casey's working with Cynthia, and it's working. It's just not really efficient.
Okay.
So I'll send this note out, and we'll get with Casey. Maybe on the best scenario is that it's already in place for 2019, and we really just have to worry about then who's going to be the owner going forward as far as posting, right? I mean, if a week or two goes by and we don't have a viable candidate, there's still going to be someone posting these, and that person's going to have to continue posting, and we move forward on this project, is what I say.
Okay.
We can't put it off inevitably, right?
Right.
I mean, the process still goes on. We just would prefer to have the correct people in place.
Yes.
Charlie
Sooner
actually.
than later, but yeah, okay. Well, let's do this. I'm going to send this out, and let's see what Casey's input is. Maybe he feels the schedule's out there already. We have our ABCs done. Do you know if you guys have iPads or anything?
Yes, we do have.
No, we do not.
I could swear we had one.
Not to my knowledge, unless you.
Yes, I saw an iPad here. There was an iPad here. Casey showed me.
Make sure it's.
Okay.
Is it newer?
I think so, but like you said, it may not be compatible. I don't know.
Right. Okay. Well,
Did
let's.
you have some? Med had something to say.
I think, the best place to start then is just me send you these 2 work instructions and say then what Casey feels is the status of the material masters, the ABC, the cycle schedule as of this point. Maybe it's ready for 2019, or maybe he's not even feel he's responsible for it or hasn't had time. I think we need to know if we have anything to start with.
Well, if worse comes to worse, you guys, I've actually done this exact thing at another company a few years ago where I developed the ABC schedule for them and managed the cycle counter and scheduling. So if worse comes to worse and the position doesn't get filled, I myself could spend some time with Casey and take ownership if we really needed to.
Right. That's why I mean I'm hoping a majority has been put in place for 2019, and he's going to say, it's pretty much ready to go.
I assume a lot of it's already done. But
yeah,
they'll be here tonight, and we will confirm tonight, and then hopefully have some feedback next day or so. Okay.
I'll send you this with those couple questions, and then you send me a note back as soon as you've had a conversation with Casey. And if we can, we'll have another meeting Thursday or Friday. Or Friday, I guess, would be the earliest, right?
Yes.
Give you a chance. Okay, that's good. And like I said, it's no big deal. We always can, postpone 1 week, 2 weeks, whatever it takes. I mean, the sooner the better as far as keeping control of the ABCs, right? We don't want you to miss your measurables and so forth.
Okay.
Understand. Yep.
All right. Sounds great.
All right. Thank you, Beth.
Thank you very much.
Yep. I'll send you that email quickly, and you guys let me know. And have a great day.
You too.
Thank you for calling in.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. That was pretty good.